So the first question says, write 38 as a decimal. Okay. So I'm sure you can answer this without writing, right? What do you think the answer would be? 38%.
3.8.
0.
Oh, 3.8.
Yeah, 0.38 because it's 38 divided by 100. And remember, the 2 zeros means that the decimal point will move from the right-hand side of 8 2 times to the left. So it's going to go over 8 and go over 3. And that will leave us with 0.38. Okay, so we move on to the next one. So like these are questions that you wouldn't even need to write down anything. The next one says, what fraction of this shape is shaded? You can quickly count. Let's count the first half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can assume that there are 10 now because I've counted 5 already and it looks like they are equally balanced. And 3 are shaded. So that would be 3 over 10. Okay. All right. So you're good with that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's move on. It says here's a list of numbers 1.6, 1.4, 2.1, 0.5. And it looks like they're asking us to write down the smallest one. Obviously, the smallest one is 0.5. Okay, that's the smallest. And if they had asked us to arrange it in ascending order, then it would be 0.5, 1.3, 1.4, 1.6, and then 2.1. That will be in ascending order from the smallest to the highest. Okay, so let's move on. So what would minus 9 plus 5 be? Remember the rule. What would minus 9 plus 5 be?
-4.
Yes, minus 4, because the minus sign is on the bigger number. Okay, so moving on. Here we are. Let's see. Solve P minus 2 equals 3. Of course, if you collect like terms for this guy, minus 2 going over to the other side will become plus 2. And that will be 3 plus 2, which will be 5. So P will be equal to 5. Okay. Did you get that?
Yes.
Remember, this is all mental. You can do this without writing a single thing. And that will enhance your speed. Freddy adds labels to this diagram of a circle. And what are the labels? Diameter, circumference, and center. Explain why one of the labels is wrong. Okay, so let's see. The one that's looking wrong to me here is diameter, because diameter is twice the radius. So what he's calling the diameter right now is actually the, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's wrong. Moving on. It says write down 3 different factors of 20. Easy. Of course, the first factor of 20, if you want to include 1, you are free to include 1. 1 is a factor of all numbers. 2 is a factor of 20. 4 is a factor of 20. 5 is a factor of 20. 10 is a factor of 20. What else is a factor of 20 that was not mentioned? 20 itself is a factor of 20. Okay. Remember, factors are numbers that can go into the multiple without a remainder. What else? Work out the size of the angle marked X. Okay, so the mathematical reason for this guy is that angles at the center, angles at a point, sorry, because this is not really a shape. So angles at a point add up to 360. So the point here is where these two lines meet. That's the point where 2 of them meet. And we have 50 degrees here. So obviously, the rest of this angle is going to be 360 minus 50, which is 310. You got that?
Yes.
All right. So we're moving on. A student says that an angle of 50 degrees is an obtuse angle. The student is wrong. Explain why. Okay, so I'm not too sure if you're familiar with the groupings for angles, but let me just show you how I usually remember it. Let me see, can I annotate on this guy? If I was using Edge, I think I can do that. You know what we're going to do now? I'm going to switch to Edge. Just give me a minute, please. I'm going to stop sharing and switch to Edge. Microsoft Edge will allow me to annotate on it. Okay. Open with Edge. Microsoft Edge. Do you have your notebook with you?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so it's opening in Edge now. As soon as it opens, I'll share my screen again. It's taking a while. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, good. Yes, it's up in Edge now. Okay, so let's share the screen. This time we're sharing Edge. Okay. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I think this is where we were. This is where I stopped, where it's talking about a student's assumption that an angle of 50 degrees is an obtuse angle. So let's quickly look for a pen to go with. Okay, we're doing black. Okay. All right. So um, um, for the groupings of angles, right? And angles, the smallest angles are the ones that you call acute angles. Okay. So I wanted to undo this. Okay. So that's the ones we call acute angles, right? Do you remember what acute angles are?
Less than 90.
Thank you. Less than 90. Good. So 50 degrees cannot be an obtuse angle because it is an acute angle. Acute angles would obtuse angles, which are the next groupings, are those that are greater than 90. Sorry, let me do that. Okay, so yes, this is how you would represent them technically. So 90 is less than them. That's the whole idea. That's another way of saying it. 90 is less than them, but they are less than 180, right?
Yes.
And then finally, reflex. Reflex angles are the guys that are greater than 180, but they are less than, what are they less than?
360.
Okay, 60. Okay, so those guys are reflex. Okay, so you remember this grouping, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what will guide your decision for this question, nothing else. So this is why 50 degrees is the student's assumption is wrong. 50 degrees clearly is not between 90 degrees and 180. It's less than 90. Okay. Let me represent it well. X less than 90. Okay. So it looks like this guy is allowing me to annotate. So I think maybe I'll send back the question paper to you after we're done. Okay. But you can still take notes if you want to on your, your notepad. Okay, so this is a graph. It says write down the coordinates of point B. Okay, the x-axis is 5, y-axis is 2, so that's 5, 2. Plot the point with coordinates 4, -2. Okay, so that would leave us with 4 and -2. That would be here. Okay, what next? Label this point C. Okay, so we'll call it C. What next? Write down the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. All right, so there's a formula for this guy. And let me see if I remember that formula. So the coordinates, when you want to find the coordinates of the midpoint of a line, right? All you just need to do is to find out the coordinates of the ends of that line. So for the end of this line, its coordinates, the first point is -3, 4. So let me get the formula out, because that's what we would need. Midpoint MP is given by what? X one, right? Plus, just let me know if this formula looks familiar to you. X2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Does it look familiar?
Yes.
Okay, so it's easy. From this point on, it's easy. All we need to do is to substitute. The coordinates, you can think of your x1 as the x coordinate of A and your x2 as the x coordinate of B. Just pick them from the graph. Very easy. So the x coordinate of A is -3 from here. Clearly, you can see it's -3. And then the x coordinate of B is 5. So that's leaving us with -3 plus what? Plus 5. Okay. So I just keep the answer for me. -3 plus 5 will give you what?
2.
That's 2, because yes, 5 is the bigger one. So just put your 2 there. And then the y coordinate is y1 plus y2. What's the y coordinate for A? That's 4. And what's the y coordinate for B? That's 2. So 4 plus 2 will give you what?
6.
That's 6. And 6 divided by 2. Hold on a minute. I forgot to divide by 2. My bad. Sorry. I think I need to wipe that. That was a mistake. Sorry, it's not going to be 2. Because by the time I divide 2 by 2, guess what I'll have? 2 -3 plus 5 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So sorry, I forgot to do that part. So that's 1. And then 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is what?
3.
3. So that's the answer for that guy. All right. Do you have any questions with that?
No.
Okay, so please keep this formula at the back of your mind. This is the formula for midpoint. Once you have this formula, every other thing is sorted from there. Draw a line with equation y equals -4. Simple. Look for -4 on the y-axis. That's -4. And draw a line through it. Okay, that's just it easily. So if I were to draw my sketch, this is how the line will look. Sorry, I don't have a ruler on this guy. but it allows me to annotate. That's why I'm even using it in the first place. Okay, so there you go. That's the line of y equals -4. So straight line that passes through the y-axis on -4. Okay, so we're good. I think we can move on. Max sees the special offer in a shop, and this is the offer. It says buy one large plate, get one small plate for half the normal price. The normal price of large plate is £2. The normal price of a small plate is 80 pence. It says Max wants to buy 6 large plates and 6 small plates using this offer. He has £15. The question is this: has Max got enough money? You must show how you get your answer. Okay, so let's go for the offer. The offer says buy one large plate and get one small plate for half the normal price. Okay, of course, this normal price is referring to the normal price for what? Small plates, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so if we have that understanding, then let's see how it goes. The normal price of a large plate is £2. So he said he wants to buy 6 large plates. So 6 large plates is going to be £12 already without him even buying any small plate. And it's looking like he may not have enough money. But let's see. So 6 times 2 is already what? 12. So he's already having £12 without even buying any small plates. So let's now establish that he doesn't have enough money. Let's now go for the small plate. It says, get one small plate for half the normal price. So one small plate will be how much? That's going to be 40 pence. Okay. So 40 times 6, isn't it? I should have said 6 times 40. Anyways, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's going to give me 240. Oh, okay. Okay, because it's in pence, you will have enough. So that's £2, 40 pence. So I think it looks like he has enough money, right? Because he has £15, so it should be enough. 12 plus 2 is, if we add it together, it's going to be what? 14. So it's good. It's good. 14.40. Yeah. And I'm going with the assumption that this guy is 0, 0. So yeah. Okay. He is good to go. So yes, he has enough money. The answer is yes. All right, so we're moving on to the next question. Are you good with this?
Sorry, where did the 40 come from again?
6 times 4 is 24. So 6 times 40 will be 240.
No, where did the 40 come from?
Okay, so if you convert, I just converted, it's in pence, right? So 240, if I divided it by 100 to convert it to £2, 40 pence.
Oh, okay.
Did you get it now? Are you good with it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right, good. All right, so let's move on. Okay. It says a total of 700 tickets were on sale for a football match. 452 tickets were sold. How many tickets were not sold? Okay, so I mean, it's going to be, it's simple. 700 minus 400. 152. Okay, so I think I'll just leave that because of time. It says for a different football match, 297 tickets were sold for £9.50 each. 399 tickets were sold for £19.50 each. It says work out an estimate for the total amount of money paid for these tickets. You must show all your working. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? I'm going to let you participate. Let me see if I can share I can allow you control my screen. Remote control. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so I sent you a request. So did you get the question?
Yes. Oh, can I write?
Yes, you can. Go ahead. So remember, it's an estimate. It's not letting you write?
No.
Let me see. Why? All right. So why is it not letting you write? Okay, you know what? So can you go for tap on this draw? Let's see, maybe it's expecting you to tap on it so that you can. Okay. Yes. No, okay, that's the eraser you have there. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's see if it will let you. It's still not letting you go. Okay, all right. Maybe I don't know what's happening, but let's see. Okay, you know what? Let's see. Let's just tell me what you think you would be the what would you do for this? Since it's an estimate that is expected from this, not exact workings. What would you use for your estimate?
297. I would round it to 300.
To 300. Okay.
And £9.50.
Okay.
Round it to £10.
Okay. Times £10. Okay. All right. What next? And
400
399. 400. Okay.
multiplied by 20.
20. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So the total would give us 3,000. And that's simply done because 3 times 1 is 3 with it. And then you have 1, 2, 3 zeros. That's what makes estimates fun because you can easily multiply even without doing much. And then 4 times 2 is 8. And I have another 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2. So the total will be what? 11, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Total will be 11. All right. So that's our working, and I think we're good to go. All right. And it's in pounds. Okay, so I'm moving on. It says, is your answer to part B an underestimate or an overestimate? What would you say? Would it be an under or overestimate? Which one?
Overestimate as we round it up.
Yes, yes, it's an overestimate because we rounded up for each. Okay, I guess that's enough reason for our answer. So I'll just move on because of time. Here are 6 numbers. Work out the mean. Mean, another name for mean is average, isn't it? This one looks like a mental math because I can add this guy up without writing a single thing. 13 plus 5 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. 22 plus 9 is 31. 31 plus 3 is 34. And 34 plus 8 is 42. So all I now need to do is to divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 42 divided by 6 is 7. Plus 6 times 7 is 42. So the mean is 7. But of course, we want to see the working, so it's fine. While you're mentally processing it, you could just be writing down. I think this guy doesn't, it doesn't ask you for a calculator. You're not supposed to use a calculator for this, right? For this exam. Okay. So you can just write down your working there. And so please always remember that another name for mean is average. So exactly the same thing you would have done for an average, you would do the same thing for mean over 6. And that will give me 7. Okay, so let's move on. Simplify 15a divided by 3. Okay, so it's division, right? What do you think will happen? 15a is the same thing as 15 times a. You agree with that?
Yes.
So if I divide 15a by 3, I'm free to say this. 3 in here, 1. 3 in 15 is 5. So my final answer will be 5a. Are you good with that?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Of course, you can see that we're collecting like terms for this one, even without being told. So let's quickly work it out. 19, if you collect like terms, I'm having 5b. Now, do you see the good thing about some of these questions? You don't need to rewrite the question the way it is. I think it's okay for you to just, like now, I'm not going to rewrite the question. I'm going to collect the like terms straight away. 5b minus 7b. And I have 4c plus c. So that would be plus 4c plus c. The only thing is that I'm not going to skip steps. Okay, I'm not going to skip steps. But because time is not really a friend right now. Okay, so I'm left with 19. 5 minus 7 is what?
3. Sorry, 2.
No. No. 5b minus 7b.
2B.
Minus 2b. Okay. Okay, take note. You know why it's minus 2b, right? Because 5 is smaller than 7. Whenever you have a small number, subtracting a bigger number, the answer would always be a negative, okay? And you can even remember that's our rule where it says one number is positive, the other number is negative. The answer will be the sign on the bigger number. So you can see 7 is bigger than 5. So the answer has to pick the sign on 7. All right, so over to 4c plus c. What would the answer be?
5C.
5c, thank you. So don't forget to put your plus sign there, and that's the final answer. 19 minus 2b plus 5C. All right, so we roll. It says we should factorize this. This is quite easy. If you look at what we have here, we have 8D minus 6. What are the common factors between 8 and 6?
2.
Thank you very much. That's 2. So I'll quickly put my 2 outside the bracket. And then what would I be left with inside? 8D divided by 2 is 4, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you notice I didn't take D out because D is not common. It's not common among two of them. So I'll just leave the D inside there. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then what will I have here? I would have 3 in here. And that's my final answer. Okay, we're moving on. I think we're making progress. Okay, so last week, 73% of the tickets sold at the cinema were adult tickets. And what does it say next? What percentage of the tickets sold were not adult tickets? Okay, so what do you think would be the answer to this question?
27%.
73% sold. What did you say?
27%.
27%, thank you. And if you are to show your working, it will simply be by saying 100%, 100 minus 73. And that's your answer. 27 is the correct answer. Yes. Okay, moving on. Some people watched a film at the cinema. Number of adults, ratio of number of adults to number of children is what? 2:5. It says what fraction of these people were adults? It's going to be 2/7. I mean, it's quite obvious because the ratio is usually given by, the number that you're interested in over the total of 2 of them. So it's simply what? 2/7. Okay, you're good with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. On Friday, 500 people watched the film at the cinema. 70% of these people were children. Okay, it now says on Saturday, it goes on to say on Saturday, 720 people watched the film at the cinema. 5/8 of these people were children. It now says Kasim thinks more children watched the film on Friday than on Saturday. Is Kasim correct? You must show how you get your answer. Okay, so let's assume we don't know if Kasim is correct or not. Let's get the evaluation. Remember, we're interested in children. So if we're interested in children and they're telling us 70% of these people were children, that means I have to work out first for Friday. I'm not going to write Friday in full, but let's just have it on record that I'm solving for Friday. For Friday, 70 number of children will be 70. In fact, what do I really need to? Okay, yes, I need to do this. Yes, it's better this way. I wanted to ask if it's better for me to just convert 70% to a decimal and then do this, but there's no need. It's better this way. It's better. You will even see what you're calculating better. So 70% of 500, 70% times 500. So you can see, you remember how our zeros cancel out, right?
Yes.
And we're left with 70 times 5. And 7 times 5 is 35. So with the 0 behind 70, that will give me 350. I think it's better for me to just write kids. That would make things easy for me. Okay. Okay, so we're moving on. 350 kids on Friday. Let's work out those on Saturday. Saturday. Okay. On Saturday, we are told that 5/8 of these people were children. So the same thing I did with 70%, I'm going to do it with what? 5/8. And that's going to be 5/8 of or times 720. and 20. So again, you see, I'm not sure if there's hardly any question that we have seen so far that didn't need our skills for multiplication tables. So if you need to brush up on your multiplication tables, you have at least 24 hours to do that, okay, before the exam. So 8 in here is 1. 8 times 9 is 72. So 8 is 720 will be 90. Okay. All right. So I'm left with 90 times 5. And 9 times 5 is what? 45. And with the 0 behind 90, I'll have 450 kids. So can we make a decision now?
Yes.
Is Kasim correct or not?
Yes, he's correct.
It's correct. It's correct. Huh? Are you sure? He says more people watched the film on Friday than on Saturday. On Friday, we have 350 kids. On Saturday, we have 450 kids. So are you sure Kasim is correct? I think he's incorrect. So Kasim is incorrect. Kasim is wrong. Is wrong. Okay. So we've made our decision and we're rolling on. Okay. It says work out 6/7 times 5/12. Give your answer as a fraction in the simplest form. Okay, so you know the deal now. 6/7, we're going to do our canceling where it's possible. Where it's not possible, we just leave it up and we multiply. But I can see clearly an opportunity for me to break things down, and that's with 6 in itself 1 time, 6 in 12. How many times?
Twice.
Twice. Thank you very much. Let me cancel the 12 very well, so I know that it's out of the picture. Twice. So I'm left with what? 5 times 1 is what? 5. And I'm left with 7 times 2, which is what?
36.
14, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
14, yes. So again, I said you need to brush up, okay? All right, so let's move on. It says here is the list of ingredients for making 20 biscuits. All right, I like this question. You can just hit the nail on the head and move. Harry wants to make 60 biscuits. Simple. How much flour does Harry need? He will need 3 times as much as it will be for 20 biscuits. That's it. Very simple. This is probably one of the easiest questions in this paper. So how many grams of flour does he need for 20 biscuits? That's 250. So I'm going to simply say 250 grams times 3. Okay. So I know they may want you to show where you got the 3 from. So let's just write above it that 60 is equal to what? 20 times 3, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So that's our decision-making mechanism. We came by the 3 here. Okay. So that's what governed our choosing 3 here. Okay. So 3 times 250. 3 times 0 obviously is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. And finally, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is a lovely 7. And so you will need 750 grams of flour. Okay, so I think we can move on now. You got that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so next it says Here are 200 counters in a bag. 38 counters are red. Looks like a probability question. Okay. If it's not probability, it will be percentage. So 52 counters are blue. The rest of the counters are yellow or green. Or green. There are the same number of yellow counters as green counters. Makes it quite self-explanatory. It now asks, what percentage of the counters in the bag are yellow? So you know what? It's a tricky question, but you can answer it. It's very easy. The first thing we're going to do is to recognize the fact that total number of counters is 200. So everything we're doing must add up to 200. 200 is equal to, let's start with number of counters that are red. 38 plus 52 counters are blue. So we'll go 52. Now, the rest are yellow or green. Now, because they told us that number of counters that are yellow or green are the same, guess what? All I now need to do is to say what? X plus what? X. Okay? And maybe it might pay for us to say this at the beginning. Let's number, and I'm sure they will understand with you if you are not writing number in full. Number of yellow B X. So the question has already told us that number of yellow and number of green are the same. So that's what I just wrote there is therefore in mathematics. I hope that sign looks familiar to you. Therefore, does it look familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. I can remember sorry, did I just write B? I meant to write is. Therefore, G is X. Okay. Are you good with this? Can I move on now?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think I'm going to do next here? I'll be collecting like terms, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, for me to make it easier for me, in my mind, I've already calculated 38 plus 52. That's 3 plus 5, 8 plus 2 is 10. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1, 9. So that's 90. Okay. So, and the 90 will go over to the left-hand side, becoming a minus 90. So 200 minus 90. And x plus x is already giving me what? 2x. So 200 minus 90 is what?
110.
110. Thank you. And 110 will be equal to 2x. So that means x will be equal to what?
110 divided by 2.
Thank you. 110 divided by 2, because we're going to be dividing both sides by 2. So 2 takes itself out on that side, and 110 divided by 2 will give me 2 in here, 1. 2 in 11 is 5. Remember what? 1. Always remember this, our style of dividing. 5 remainder 1. Then 2 in 10 again is 5. So that means that the number of yellow, because the number of yellow and green is what? Is the same thing. So that's what? The number of, now please take note. The question didn't ask you for the number. Did you see, can you see the question? And that's one thing I want to say here. Please, always take note of what the question is asking for. Do you know it's easy for me to just, I could have written 55 now, but I just looked at the unit there, and the unit is saying percentage. But what I'm calculating now is not a percentage, it's the number. So for me to get the percentage, what will I do? What do you think I'm going to do?
Multiply 100.
Not so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say 55. Yes, at some point I'm going to be multiplying by 100, but before I multiply by 100, I'll have to say 55 over the total, which is 200. Okay. Then I can now say multiply by what? 100. Okay. Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. Because anything short of this, if you multiply this guy by 100, it's going to be a number bigger than 100. And usually percentages in this context don't exceed 100. So if you find yourself exceeding 100, be careful. Something has gone wrong. So cancel your zeros, makes things easy for you. You're left with 55 divided by 2, which you can summarize to, okay, so let's do this. So 2 in itself is 1. 2 in 5 is 2, right? Remainder 1. In 15, 2 in 15 is 7 because 2 times 7 is 14. And that's 27 and half. So your answer is, you can either say 27 whole number, 1 over 2, or 27.5. By now, I'm sure your mind would have recognized that another way of writing 27 and a half is 27.5. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I think we can move on. Do you have any questions on that one? Or I can go on?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, all right. So don't worry. If you can't catch up with the notes, I'll send you this question back. I can save with Edge, then I'll send it back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So now Naomi has B bags of apples and C crates of apples. Okay, all right, but they're both apples. I don't know why they now. Oh, one is bags and the other is crates. Nice one. It says that there are 5 apples in each bag, 28 apples in each crate. Naomi has a total of T apples. It says write a formula for T in terms of B and C. Now, another thing about this kind of question is we only want to see 3 letters in this formula, T, B, and C. So quickly, let's hit the road. Total is going to be equal to, okay, so now we're just following the question. It says number of bags of apples is B, and there are 5 apples in each bag. So what's that going to be? Total number of apples in B bags will be 5B. Am I right?
Yes.
Plus 28 apples in each crate. So that's going to be 28C, right?
Yes.
And that's your answer. As simple as that. So that's the formula for T in terms of B and C. Now, always remember this kind of thing, when they say write a formula for a particular letter in terms of other 2 letters, it means that letter must stand alone on its by itself outside the equal sign, and then the other 2 letters which are supposed to form the formula, the rest of the formula, will be on the right hand side. If you find yourself having something else on the left, try and find a way to move that thing to the right hand side, okay, using the laws of algebra that you know. Okay, so we can move on, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. The next one here says, here are 5 first terms in an arithmetic sequence. I like arithmetic sequence. They are predictable, very predictable. -5, 3, 11, 19, 27. Okay. So what's the question? It says, find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. Okay. So first things first, what's the general formula for an arithmetic sequence? I think it tells us T n is equal to A plus N minus 1 N minus 1D. Does this guy look familiar?
No.
Okay, so this is the general formula for an arithmetic sequence. Okay, now if you can, you may have a lot of things to memorize. So, okay, let me see if is there any way I can make it simpler. Okay, let's look at the numbers first. Now, an arithmetic sequence, each term is gotten by adding something to the next term. Do you understand that fact?
Yes.
Good. So the first thing that we're going to establish is what? What is that number that is being added? Now, it may look at first difficult to find out the number from here to here, but let us look at 3 and 11. And you see that 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 plus 8 is 19. 19 plus 8 is 27. So my common difference is what? 8. Hello, no, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm having 8 there. So while the next thing that we now need to establish is the first term. In this case, the first term is minus 5. So I'll have minus 5 there. Okay. All right. So minus 5 is my first term. So this is the expression for the nth term of this particular sequence. Now, of course, you might be thinking, do we need to break it down, like to expand this bracket? Because what this 8 is doing behind there is saying that it's multiplying by everything in this bracket, excluding the plus and the minus 5. So let's see what it will finally look like. It's going to be minus 5 plus 8 times n is what? 8n. Okay. 8 times minus 1 is minus 8. Okay. All right. So, of course, I'm sure you can see what's happening here, right? The next thing that will happen is minus 5 and minus 8 are like terms, right? Because they don't have the ends. So what I'll be left with is 8n, right? Minus 5 minus 8. Like we're just collecting it straight away. So you remember the rules for minus, right? When you have minus on the two numbers, what do you do?
Becomes positive.
No, not when you're multiplying. Not minus something times minus something. That's when it becomes positive. But when you're just like taking them together, like adding them together, do you get what happens? Minus 5 minus 8. So just as a recap, the rule is that you should simply do what? Add them together, but leave the minus on it. Why? Because minus 5 minus 8 is simply, it seems to be like an increment, but in the negative direction towards the left-hand side. Okay, so the answer will be minus 13 in this case. Okay, so I hope you got that.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the final answer. Since they said we should find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. So can you see, whenever they say again, find an expression in terms of something, that something that they say in terms of must be the only unknown in the formula. Okay, so this Tn is on the left-hand side. The only unknown on the right-hand side is what? N. Okay, so you can see how simple it looks. So do you know the key thing for this question? Just remember this formula. Just remember this. Okay, once you can remember this for arithmetic sequences, right? You're good to go. Okay, so I know that they've asked for arithmetic sequence, but it's good for us to also know that there's something called a geometric sequence. And for that one, well, they would have told us, but for that one, in a geometric sequence, instead of us adding to get the next term, we're multiplying. So the formula for that one is A R, I'm sure you can guess, you can already see that we're multiplying things here. AR raised to power N minus 1. Okay, so that's how this one looks. That's the formula for a geometric sequence. So in case they give you a geometric sequence, what we just did now, you would do it, you do the same thing with this guy. That's all. So instead of us having a common difference for arithmetic sequence, for geometric sequence, we have something called a common ratio. And that is the thing that is being multiplied to get the next term. And your n minus 1 is just telling you the position of that term. That's it. Okay, so you're good with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we move on. It says work out 8.46 divided by 0.15. 8.46 divided by 0.15. Okay, so what do you think we will do for this one? Let me see if you remember. What are we going to do for this?
Make them remove the decimals.
Yes, we're going to remove the decimals. This one is quite easy, right? Because both decimals have 2 decimal places. So it's almost, it's coincidental that they're the same. But if they're not the same, what do you do? Can you remember? If they're not the same, maybe one of them is 3 decimal places, the other one is 2 decimal places. What would you have done?
I multiply by 100.
So it depends, right? Remember, my question my question was, let's assume that one of them has 3 decimal places. So that one that has 3 decimal places, right? Your focus will be on that one because that one has the higher number of decimal places. So that one you will need to multiply it by 1,000. Why? Because of the 3 decimal places. Did you get that? Yes. So now that will not determine what you will multiply the next one by. So that other one that is 2 decimal places now, because you multiplied the one that has 3 decimal places by 1,000, you will also multiply that second one that has 2 decimal places by 1,000. Okay. So you understand the gist, right? For questions like this, if the decimal places are, they are different, unlike this question, then you focus on the one that has the higher number of decimal places. But for this guy, I guess we're in luck today. Both of them are the same. So what are we going to do? We'll move this guy to the right and something like that. We just multiplied both of them by 100. So this will now give us 846. Okay. Divided by 15. Now it looks quite unlikely that we may find a number, but let's not give up. Questions like this, you just need to look at it very well. So what number do you think we should try to use to break things down? We have 15. as looking like an odd number. And we have 846, an even number because it ends with 6. What do you think we should use to try breaking things down? What number?
5. Oh, that
Now,
can.
if we use, well, yeah, go ahead.
Can use 3.
3, thank you. Let's use 3. 3 should do the trick. Let's give 3 a try. Okay, so I know that 3 in 15 is 5, but I'm not sure what 3 in this guy is, but let's just go ahead and use 3. Let's use 3 by faith. Okay, so 3 in 15 is 5. Now let's start with 8. 3 in 8 is going to give us 2 times, because 3 times 2 is 6. Remember, 2. 3 in 24, okay? Okay, because the 2 in front of the 4 will now make it 24. 3 in 24 will give me 8. And then finally, 3 in 6 will give me 2. So we're in luck. 3 did the job. Now, I want you to take note of what we have next. We have 5 and we have 282. Now, there is no way 5 is going to go into 282 without a remainder. So let's just get that at the back of our mind. But let's still go ahead. We know that there will be a remainder. So we're prepared for it. 5 in itself is 1 time. 5 in 28 is 5 times, isn't it? Because 5 times 5 is 25. What's the remainder?
In what, sorry?
What's the remainder? 5 in 28.
28.
What did you say? Yes, 5 in 28. It's 5 times. What's the remainder?
3.
That would be 3. Thank you. So we're going to put our remainder in front of the 2, and that will make it 32. 5 in 32 is 6. Remainder what? 2. Okay? And if we're to write it as a fraction, that's going to be 56 whole number, 2 over 5. Okay? So just for practice, ideally, right, it's not okay for us to leave our answer like this, but you can, this can fly for the answer, but it's not ideal to leave it like this. Why? Because the 2 numbers that gave rise to this answer were in decimal format. Okay, so coming to a fraction would look somehow. So what should we do? Let's convert this guy to what? A decimal, 2 over 5. And 2 over 5 simply means 2 divided by 5. That means 5 will be outside and 2 will be what? Inside. Okay, so 5 is bigger than 2. So obviously we have 0 point. Then we'll put a 0 here too. 5 in 20 will give me what? 4. 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. And we'll put our minus sign here. 20 minus 20 is 0. So what's the final answer? 0.4, isn't it?
Yes.
So don't forget, there's already a 56 waiting for us. So that's going to give us 56.4. Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your final answer. If you want to put 0.40, it's still the same thing. 56.4, 56.40 are still the same thing. The 0 behind, I told you that thing in one of our questions. The 0, if you have 0 after a decimal point and it's the last digit, it doesn't count. Whether you put it or not, it won't count. Okay, so can I move on?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So this question says, work out 7 whole number. Okay. It says, give your answer as a mixed number. Okay, of course, we know what a mixed number is. it should be what? A whole number and a fraction. Okay, so let's see. I know you have a method for doing this, but let me see if you may want to buy my own method. 7 minus 2 is 5, right? That's it for the whole number part. The LCM of 8 and 2 is 8, because clearly 8 is a multiple of 2. 8 in 8 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Minus 2 in 8 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Ah, gotcha. Now, whenever you see scenarios like this, it looks a bit tricky, but it's not difficult. So what are we going to do? We can't say 3 minus 4 is minus 1. No, it won't work here because of the nature of this type of numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to borrow 1 from 5, and 5 will become 4. But the value of that 1 that we borrowed from 5 is 8. So that's going to be what? 8
Oh, 8 times 3.
plus, no, 8 plus 3. Okay, 8 plus 3 minus 4. Okay, did you get that?
Okay.
Yes. So that's going to give me 11 minus 4, which is what? 7. So that's going to be 4 whole number, 7 over 8. I think they put this instruction here on purpose because they know that people usually, if they want to solve questions like this, they first change them to improper fractions. That's the way some people will attack this question. They will change it to improper fractions. And once you change it to improper fractions, guess what will happen? You won't ever see this kind of scenario play out. It will never happen. I bet you it will never happen. So they were actually looking for people who know this skill. So there you go. So is there any part of this that you didn't understand? We need to go over it again.
No.
Okay, we're good. All right, just remember the catch is borrow 1 from the whole number, and whatever is the LCM, that is the value of the 1 that you borrowed. Add it to the number that was small, and then continue your subtraction as the case may be. Okay, so moving on. It says a cube has a total surface area of 150 cm squared. Okay, that's area, total surface area. It says work out the volume of the cube. Now we know a cube has how many faces? 6 faces, and all of them are what? Squares. So let's just take note of that. 6 squares. Okay. So the total surface area of a cube will virtually be the total surface area or the total area of 6 squares. That's it. And you know the area of a square is given by what? Length times length, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So if we understand that, right? 1 square, for 1 square, let me just write it like this. I don't want to write it in full again because of time. For 1 square, the area is given by what? L, sorry, that's not okay. It's given by what? L times what? L, okay, right? Therefore, for 6 squares, sorry, I'm not done with this. And L times L is what? L squared, right? So for 6 squares, that's going to be 6 times L squared, which is 6 L squared. Okay, so now what they simply told us that it means therefore the total surface area, which is what? 150 cm squared is equal to 6L, means that 6L squared is equal to 150. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Good. So remember, our job is to find L, because if we can find L, then we can work out the volume of the cube. That's our goal. Okay, so our job is to find L. So what are we going to do next? Can you guess?
Read, sorry, divide 150 by 6.
Thank you. So we're going to divide 150 by 6, or you can just say divide both sides by 6, so that this goes, it goes like this. This goes, and then I have 150 over 6 on this side. And 150 over 6, let's just use 6 to make it fast. 6 in itself is 1 time. 6 in 15 is what?
2.
2 remainder 3, isn't it?
Yes. And then 5
And,
times.
and that's going to be 5 times. Thank you very much. So that means our L, it means that L will be equal to what? Square root of 25, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is 5, right? Which is equal to 5. So what can we conclude? The volume will be what? Do you remember the formula for volume? The volume of a cube is given by L raised to power 3. Okay, L cubed. Because if you remember that volume of a cuboid is length times breadth times height. A cube, all the length, the breadth, and the height are the same. So when you multiply L by L by L, guess what will happen? It's going to be what? L cubed. So V will be equal to 5 raised to power 3, which is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. Okay, don't forget the unit is, okay, it's already there. So 125 cm cubed, or cubic centimeters. Okay, so can we move on from this?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, this one has to do with, looks like a histogram. It says draw a frequency polygon for this information. Now, frequency polygons will use only the upper limits, right? Should we, okay, wait a minute. 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I'm just trying to gauge the scale. Can you draw the graph for this guy? Yeah, you're not sure of it.
No.
Okay. Let me see if I can quickly do it. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. So if I go with the midpoints of this guy, the midpoint of 0 and 5 is going to be gotten by 0 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5. So 2.5 is going to be between 2 and 3. If this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, then 2.5 will be somewhere here. So that's going to be this point. And 2.5 is going to be going against the frequency 8. So where's my 2.5 again? 2.5 is here. I'm going to look for 8 somewhere. So let's establish where 8 is. If this is 10, then this midpoint here is going to be 5. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So where will 8 be? Let's see. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so this is 8. So I'm going to trace this point to here. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's do this. So quickly, 5 plus 10 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Again, your multiplication table will come to your rescue here. There's no hiding it, the fact to come to your rescue. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. 7.5 against 24. So let's go and look for 7.5 on the x-axis. So remember, everything here is on the x-axis and everything here is on the y-axis. So 7.5 against 24. So 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is 5, 6, 7. So 7.5 will be somewhere here. If the next two squares is 8, so 7.5 will be directly between 7 and 8. So 7.5 is here, and 24 will be somewhere 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, are we good?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. 15 plus 10 is 25. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. 12.5 against 13. Let's quickly gauge 10, 11, 12. This is 13. Wait a minute, I missed something. Sorry. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, yes. 14. Okay, yes, 14. So this is 14. So and this is 13. So 12.5 will be somewhere here. 12.5 will be somewhere here. So we have 12.5 against 13. So let me look for 13. 13 is, this is 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So I'm just gauging my points first. We'll join it later. Okay, then the next one is 15, 20. 20 plus 15 is 35. 35 divided by 2 is 17.5. Because 2 times 17 is 34. So 17.5. Okay. So 17.5 against 11. So let's go look for 17.5 over here. 15, 16, 17. This is 18. So 17.5 will be somewhere here. Okay. So 17.5 against 11. All right. So that would be somewhere here. That would be here, 11 on y-axis. Okay. So our graph is coming out nicely. Finally, 20 and 25. 20 plus 25 is 45. 45 divided by 2. Please take note of what we're doing to get what should be on the x-axis. We have to divide by 2 at each point to get that value. So 45 divided by 2, that's going to give me 22.5 because 22 times 2 is 44. Okay, so 22 and 44 remainder 1 will give me 22.5 as the answer for that guy. So 22.5 is the middle point for this guy. 22.5 against 4 will leave me with this. This is 20, this is 21, and this is 22. So 22.5 will be this, since the next one will be 23. So 22.5, I'll raise it all the way up to 4, and 4 is somewhere here. Okay, so I think we can. So for frequency polygon, right, you may need a ruler. So joining it will be easy for you. So all you just need to do is to join. You use a ruler to join. Do I have a ruler here? I don't think we have rulers here. Let me see. No, nothing is here. Okay, so let me just see if I press down control, whether it will change to give me a straight line. No, it doesn't give me a straight line, but I'm trying, Sha. Okay, so does it look nice?
Yes.
All right, so I think we can move on. Do you have any questions on this?
No.
So I think the only place that may look a bit, that may slow you down a bit are probably two. Number one, interpreting the scale on each axis. Number two, getting the midpoints. So please, anytime you see them giving you the values for a particular axis like this, which is usually the style for but frequency polygon charts, please always go for the midpoints. Don't go and use the what do you call it, the upper boundaries, because that's something you may be tempted to do. You may be tempted to think, oh, I can do 5. I can just use 5 against 8, 10 against 24. Well, I'm not sure how the graph will look, but please go for the midpoints. It will just need you to do a bit of calculation. Okay. Okay, so we're moving on. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I hope this we're not too far from the end. How many questions are usually in this exam? Did we just check? 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31. Okay, so it's 31. It's 31. It stops at 31. Okay. Do you want us to go on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I think if we walk at the pace we're walking, we'll be done soon. Okay, so let's move on. This one looks like a question on sets. So our universal set is natural numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, by the way, natural numbers start from the integers from, and the lowest is 1 for natural numbers. But this is a subset of natural numbers, which ends at 10. A is odd numbers, B is square numbers, okay? So anytime you see this, know that that's your universal set. So this is what we are given for the Venn diagram. What does it say? A number, oh, it says you complete it. Easy peasy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's separate it. Odd numbers. 1. Let's do this. 3. Let's just scatter it. 5, 7. Now I'm about to put 9, but I just look at B quickly and I see that 9 is a square number. So I'm going to put 9 here, right? I'll put 9 here as something that they have in common. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. So let's put the other square numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8. Sorry. What did I just say? 4. 2 is not a square number. So 4 is there, but 4 is not there in common, so it will stay here. 4. I think that's all. Okay, so let's put the rest there. So the ones that are not in any of them will hang outside. 2, let's look out for the ones that are left. Um, 3 has been taken. 4 has been taken. 5 has been taken. 6 is outside. 6. What else?
8
7 has been taken. 8. Thank you very much.
and 10.
8 and finally 10. Okay. Good. So we've done that, gotten half of our marks. A number is chosen at random from the universal set, okay? It says find the probability that this number is in the set B prime. I hope you notice that like an apostrophe on B. So it's not telling us B, but we can get B prime from B, okay? We can get B prime from B. Now what's B prime?
Pardon?
When you have a prime, an apostrophe like that, that small sign there on B, what does it mean?
Is it only B?
Yes, just only B. So what does it mean?
4.
Okay, so it's not only B now, but it's the complement of B. Now, complement of B means what's complement, sir? The complement of B is those things that are in the universal set that are not in B. Okay? Those things that are in the universal set that are not in B. Technically, that's all the numbers except 4, isn't it? Except 4 and 9. Sorry, 9 is there too, because 9 is part of B. So everything except 4 and 9. So we're going to just write it. Let's just write it. 1, because we need it for that probability. 2, 3, we have to skip 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and what? 10. Okay. So what next are we going to do here? It says, find the probability that this number is in the set B prime. Now, remember, formula for probability is what? Number of required outcomes over number of possible outcomes. So number of required outcomes means we should count how many are in this set. And how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let me just write it here. Probability that is going to come from B prime. Don't forget your prime, because B prime and B are two different things. Very, very different things. B prime will be equal to 8 over, now let us find out how many are in the universal set. 10, thank God it's 10. Can just count it. Each one is standing for itself. 8 over 10. Okay, are we good with this?
Yes.
So 2 in 8 is what? 4, and 2 in 10 is what? 5. So we're left with 4 over 5. And that is our final answer.
Wait, do I have to
Okay.
simplify?
Yes, it's good. Yes. Well, even though they didn't ask for it, but it's just make it part of your behavior. Default behavior, simplify, even without being asked. Okay. All right. So it says the scatter graph shows information about the ages and weights of some babies. Okay, it's a scatter graph, obviously. So that means if we want to draw a line for this graph, it's going to be called a line of best fit. Okay, but I'm not sure they're asking us to do that. Thank God. It says describe the relationship between age and the weight of the babies. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Right? Let's just pretend they didn't ask us so. But let's just pretend this how it's going to look. Gauge what will be the best. Okay. So this is just a random approximation. Please, it's a ruler that you would use. It's not a freehand sketch thing. Okay. But line of best fit is usually a graph that passes through some of the points, but not all of them, because that's why it's called the scatter graph. So when they say describe the relationship between age and weight of the babies, it's quite clear. It looks to me that as the ages of the babies increase, their weight also does what? Increases. Do you agree?
Yes.
So we can safely say that since let me not do this. That was slow as that. Let me use this thing to type. So we can safely say that since the since the age, right, seems to increase with the I wanted to say weight seems to increase with the age. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
We can say that age is directly proportional to the weight. Okay. All right. So you might want to check. Anyway, you might still want to check with the marking scheme if anything was added to this. But this is my own conclusion, okay, about the relationship between the age and the weight of the babies, okay? Do you have any questions on this? Okay, so it looks like I could guess that they will ask for this, for the line for this scatter graph, because without that line you can't answer this second question. It says another baby has a weight of what? Has a weight of 5.8 kilograms. It says using the scatter graph, find an estimate for the age of this baby. Okay, so let us just use our our not so straight line and find the age of this baby, approximate age. So 5.8 will be somewhere here. Okay, so I'm sure that this is 5. And this is 5.2. This is 5.4. This
No,
is
that's
5.6.
the 5 kg is supposed to be on the y-axis.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I quickly rushed for the x-axis. Okay, so yes. Okay, so that's this. Funny enough, the scales are the same. So that's 5.2, 5.4, 5.6, and this is 5.8. So that will be 5.8. I'll trace it all the way to my graph. Okay, and it seems to be touching here. So I can now take it down. Just use that to help guide me as I'm going down to the x-axis, down. So what would this be? This looks like 3.4, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, an estimate. So what would you, how would you estimate this? 3.4 months, right?
Yes.
Should we say approximately 3 months? 3 months, right? I think we can go with 3 months. What do you think?
Yes. It's estimate.
Okay, good. All righty. Okay, so let's move. Let's move. The price of a holiday increases by 20%. The 20% increase adds 240 pounds to the price of the holiday. Work out the price of the holiday before the increase. Simple. Let it be X, right? So we are told that X plus, they said 20% of X. So 20% of X is 0.2. Am I right? 20 over 100.
Yes.
Okay, good. Is once you just have that at the back of your mind, just work it out. So 20% of X is the same thing as 0.2 times X, or 20%, 20 over 100 times X, which is still the same thing. So when you have this at the back of your mind, you have settled a lot of things. They said the 20% increase adds 240 pounds to the price of the holiday. So, let's see. So another way of saying it is that if this is the original price, then this 0.2x is the same thing as what? 240. Do you agree with this?
Wait, can I eat that?
Yes. Thank you. So what it now means is that these guys are the same. So it means 0.2 is equal to 240. So what are we going to do? Sorry, so my bad. I'm going to have to wipe this off and rewrite it because I left out the key element, which is 0.2x. That's the key element. So remember, it's x that we're looking for, isn't it?
Yes.
So what are we going to do to both sides?
Divide both sides by 0.2.
Thank you very much. Very easy. This guy goes, leaving me with x there, and I divide here by 0.2, which gives me a division which involves the decimal point. So what are we going to do? This guy doesn't technically, his decimal point is already here, so it's good. But it's this guy that needs help. So we're going to move this decimal point to here, and this guy's decimal point is going to move to here, leaving you with a 0 behind it. So that's going to give me 2,400 because of that move, okay? Divided by what? 2. Yeah, so you already know the deal, right? 2 in 24 is 12. I don't even need to start breaking it down. And with the 0 and with the 0, that will leave me with 1,200. Okay. So that's my value for X, and that's the original price of the holiday before the increase. So did you notice something? This question is a tricky question. I can bet you more than half of the people that will write this question, who wrote this question, who answered this question, would have said X plus 0.2x equals 240. But can you see that that's not what the question said? The question didn't say the new price is 240. The question said the 20% increase adds 240 to the price of the holiday. So that's how we came about our deduction. Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that you are with me on that so we can move on. The diagram shows a solid cylinder on a horizontal floor. Okay, tells us that popular formula for pressure in physics. Pressure is equal to force divided by area. Okay, it says the cylinder has a volume of that, a height of that. The cylinder exerts a force of 90 newtons on the floor. Work out the pressure on the floor due to the cylinder. Okay. So you know what we're going to do. Just remember that volume, right? And this is how I usually, so many things, right, in maths are connected. So many. Just remember this thing I'm about to say. Volume of any shape, any solid shape, is given by the area of the cross-sectional shape times height. Okay, so I'm just going to write h. So, but you know it. Okay, let me just write it in full. Times height. Okay, now I'm sure you are wondering, how did I arrive at this? If you look at all the formulas for volume, you will see that they are just exactly this. I'll give you just one example because of time. Volume of a cuboid is given by what? Length times what?
And then
Breadth times what? Times height. Did you see that length times breadth is the area of a rectangle? And usually rectangles are the cross-sectional shape for cuboids. A cuboid is simply similar to a cylinder. The only difference is that instead of it to have circle or at the top and at the bottom, it has a rectangle, okay? And it is separated by what? A height. So if I understand this formula that I just gave you here, this simple formula that I just gave you, I can apply it to this cylinder. How? They told me that the volume is what? 1,200, okay? So that volume, I'll just put it where volume is. Then I'll now say is equal to area. The area that I'm looking for is the area that will feed this formula, because I need to calculate this formula, but I don't know the area. So I need to get that area. So I'll just put A. I don't know it. Let's just use A and represent it. Times the height. The height is what? 40. Okay. So can you see now that I'm in a good place to find what A is?
yes.
So what would A be? What would I do to both sides?
Divide by x by 40.
Thank you very much. I'm going to divide both sides by 40. That's going to be 1,200 divided by 40. I'm already seeing the answer playing out. That looks like 30 to me, but let's just be sure. The zeros will cancel. The 4 will go in itself one time. 4 in 120 is 30, plus 4 times 3 is 12. So that means that A is going to be equal to 30 cm what squared. But that's not the final answer, because the question said work out the pressure on the floor due to the cylinder. Now I know the area. Therefore, pressure P is equal to what? Force over what? Area. Yes. So that's, and the force, they've already told me what the force is. Force is what? 90 newtons. And I'll say 90 divided by what? 30. And this guy, we take on this guy. And this guy, we take on himself one time. 3 in 9 is 3 times. So the answer is simply going to be what? 3.
3.
Yeah. Are you good with that? All right. Okay. So do you have any question on this? Okay. All right. I guess you said no. Okay. It says use these graphs. The next question. Use these graphs to solve simultaneous equation. And that reminds me, one of the ways of solving simultaneous equations is to use a graph. So I guess this is an application for that. So it says you should use this graph to solve simultaneous equation. And remember, simultaneous equations are simply equations where the same set of values for the two variables solve both equations. So if you want to use a graph to do it, simple, find out where the two graphs intersect. That's all, no big deal. So all you just need to do is to come here, read off what the value of x is, and come here, read off what the value of y is, period. That's all, no big deal. So x is going to be what? 6, isn't it?
Yes.
So x is 6. No need to, there's no big deal about it at all. And y will be what?
1, -1.
1. -1, thank you. That's all. Okay, moving on. If we had time, I would have loved to solve it, but I'll just leave it for now. Let's move on because of time. Work out the value of this. Okay, so let me see if you remember. All right, so tell me what I'm going to do to solve this question. It's a question on indices. Can you tell me the rules I'm going to use? Let's write down the rules I will use. Yes, what's the first rule I'll use? Any number, okay, let's just assume x raised to power a times x raised to power b. I hope you'll be able to differentiate the x and the times. Is equal to x raised to the power of a plus what?
B.
Plus b. And then the second rule is that x raised to the power of a over or divided by x raised to the power of b. You know, you can just infer that for multiplication, you have addition. For division, you definitely have what? The opposite of addition, which is what? Subtraction. But take note, it is the power of the guy on top, the numerator, minus the power of the guy underneath. Once you have that at the back of your mind, we can now flow. So the guy at the top is going to simply become 4 raised to power. Don't forget the minus. Some people are going to forget it because they're in a hurry. Minus 6 plus 9. Don't forget to write the guy under. Yes, now, I know you are not seeing any power there, but can you agree with me that the power there is 1?
Yes.
Okay, good. So minus 6 plus 9 will give me what? Quickly. 3. What's the answer? 3. Thank you very much, because the bigger number has a positive sign on it. So, what would this become? 4 raised to power what? 3 minus 1, isn't it?
Yes.
And 3 minus 1 is 2. So 4 raised to power 2 is the same thing as 4 times 4, which is what? 16. Yes. All right. Can we move on?
Yes.
Okay. It said write the exact value of cos 60 degrees. I guess they are going to give you a table or something for this guy, because I don't know how you're going to do this. I would have showed you a particular way, but it's a bit of formula cracking kind of thing. I'm not sure you'll be able to really digest it now because of the questions that are left, but oh, okay, that's the last one. Should we just do it? Okay, anyways, let me see if I can just quickly show you how to come by these guys. Okay, so I don't know how you're going to do this, but on your paper you can quickly draw a sketch of a triangle. And this triangle is an equilateral triangle that has a height, okay? It has a height that comes all the way down to one of the sides, okay? And you know, when heights meet for an equilateral triangle, when you draw a line from the top, the vertex, to the side that is opposite it, it will meet that side at 90 degrees. So in other words, we have two right angle triangles backing themselves. Okay. Now, if there's at any point you don't understand it, just call my attention so I can stop and re-explain. Now, this another property of this triangle is that the height that draws comes from the vertex divides the side it meets into two equal parts. Now let us assume that from here, since it's equal, right? From here to here is the value 1. Okay. That's from here to here. Okay. Therefore, if it's equal, then that means that from here to here will also be 1. And since it's an equilateral triangle, total here, the total side will be what? 2. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And that means that this side will also be 2. And that means that this side will also be 2. Now, if this side is 2, and here is 1, and here is 1, and here is 2, and let us work out what this side will be using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so let's call here 8. Pythagoras theorem tells us that 2 squared, you can use any of the right angle triangle. Excuse me. 2 squared will be equal to what? 8 squared plus what? 1 squared. Am I right? That's Pythagoras theorem. So remember, we're looking for 8. So we're going to take this guy to this side. It becomes 4 minus what? 1 equals what? 8 squared.
Good.
And then finally, h, you can now say, therefore, h will be equal to what? Take the square root of both sides, which is what? Square root of 3. So I can just simply put here. Let me just put it there so that it doesn't look rough. Square root of 3. Now, you remember in an equilateral triangle, right? All the angles are 60 degrees. So that means here is 60. Isn't it?
Yes.
And here is 60. I'm sure by now your mind is already doing some calculations on where I'm going to. Here, because this vertex also divides the angle into 2, here will be 30. Your lightning fast mind is doing some calculations already. And now, and here will also be what? 30. I can't write the 30 there, so I'm just bringing it out here. But just understand that that angle there is 30 degrees. So here we go. If you want to work out the cosine of 60, just remember SOHCAHTOA. So, ka and toa. So they asked us for the cosine of what? 60. So that means the cosine is going to be going for ka. And ka is telling us what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. So let's go and look for the adjacent. Now, because here is 60 and here is 60, guess what? You can use any of them. You are very free to use any of them. So let's use this one, okay, just for the sake of the fact that it's looking more like the right angle triangle that we're used to. So 60 is here. The adjacent of 60 is the side that is touching 60. Don't forget how to find adjacent. The side that is touching the angle is the adjacent to that angle. And the hypotenuse, of course, you already know the hypotenuse cannot change. The hypotenuse will forever be 2. So cos 60 is equal to what? I'm sure you can. You tell me what cos 60 will be? What's the adjacent?
Pardon?
Hello? What's the
Yes.
adjacent? Sorry, my internet. Yes, what's the adjacent?
2.
No, Look at
On
it.
it.
Look at it. This is the right angle triangle. Don't
Yeah.
take the whole thing. Just here.
Oh, okay,
From
1.
here to here. Yes, it's 1. Thank you. So it's 1. And the hypotenuse is 2. So that's going to be 1 over what? Over 2. And always remember, 1 over 2 is the same thing as 0 point what? 5. So that's if they asked you for exact value of cos 60, that's 0 0.5. Now, why did I show you this method? Just in case you forget it. Okay, just in case. I don't think anybody they will ask you to show this, what I just showed you now. But in case you forget it, you can quickly whip up this triangle and get your values for cos 60. And guess what? This triangle can give you sine of 60. It can also give you tangent of 60. That's the advantage. So if you find it easy to remember cos 60, guess what? You may not be so lucky for sine 60. Okay, so this triangle will really help you. And as a fringe benefit, it also gives you all the SOHCAHTOA for 30. So I hope you understood how I obtained all these values. Sorry, I had to rush it, but I hope you can. If you look at it, I'll send you this paper. I'll send you everything. So don't bother to try and write it out again. I'll send it to you. So you just look at it from your device directly.
Okay.
But do you understand how I came by this?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry. If you look at it again, I'm sure you pick up all the steps. Finally. Can't wait to do this last question. Okay. The probability tree diagram shows the probabilities that Sheila will work at home or will work at the office on 2 days next week. Sheila is pretty lucky, having only 2 days to work at the office. Okay, so what does it say? Home, office, home, office, home, office. Monday and Friday. All right, so let's see what it says. It says work out the probability that Sheila will work at home on Monday and work at the office on Friday. Okay, so that Sheila will work at home on Monday, we've already seen is 0.2 there. Okay, so 0.2. Let's just get the values out. Probability P, I'm not going to write out the full day. I'll just say M, Monday, or let me just say MON. Okay, so you know I'm talking about Monday. Probability for Monday is given by 0.2. Now, sorry, that doesn't look like 2. Let me just write it very well. Okay, so the next thing that was asked, please take note of this word and. Take note of the and. Work at the office on Friday. Probability for Friday from this same diagram is what? Now we even need to be more specific. It says probability that Sheila will work at home. So this is Monday home. Please, let's be specific so that we know what we're talking about, because office is different. Okay, and then office on Friday. Office. I just put office there. Okay. Office on Friday is given by what? Office on Friday is now. This is quite tricky. Office on Friday has 2 possibilities. Anyway, I think we can choose anyone, right? So work on home on Monday is this 0.2. Now, because of home, assuming he has worked on home already, then that means it's only this one that would play out. So office on Friday, I'll go with 0.3. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, because of and, please take note of this thing I'm going to say now. Anytime you have and in a probability, you multiply. So I'm going to write down the rule. It's a basic rule of probability. Somehow we've not discussed it, but thank God that this question gave us the opportunity to discuss it. And in probability suggests what? Multiplication. Just understand it. While or suggests what? Addition. Okay. So just remember that. So what are we going to do to these two values to get the answer? Because of the and, we will multiply it, isn't it? Probability that you will work at home on Monday, I'm going to write it like this: MH on Monday and office on Friday, F Friday office O is going to be equal to 0.2 times 0.3. Okay. All right. So now 0.2 times 0.3. You know, when you're multiplying decimals, what did we say you should do? Pretend that the decimals are not there, isn't it? Decimal
Yeah.
points are not there. And multiply the numbers by themselves. 2 times 3 is 6. Then now go back and count how many decimal places are in both numbers. One decimal place, one decimal place. Altogether, that's 2. So move your decimal points from the right-hand side. Okay. How many times are we moving? 1, 2, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So that will give us 0.06. So our answer is 0.0. This guy is going to work at home on Monday and Friday because of the and. Okay. So did you get the gist now of this question? Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, you understood this question, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, I know you've had a long day. I'm not sure. You'll be going to school tomorrow anyway, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So at least since you're not writing any exam tomorrow, but at least you can just find some time. Remember, your priority right now, if I were you, I would prioritize memorizing my multiplication table, getting all those things out. Remember, I showed you a quick sheet for 9 times table. You can quickly get it out, but and then you can try and find your way around with the other ones. Just bother yourself with 12 from 2 to 12 times table. No need to start getting anything or working yourself up to get up to 20 times table. You can just do 2 to 12. In fact, maybe even 2 to 9. The rest are easy to just do 2 to 12. So you'll be on the safe side. You know, the easy ones, 10, 10 times table has zeros, on them. So you can just find a way around it. So if you can get that out, then just look at these other questions, maybe the ones that we've not come across in our previous working so far. I'm sure you will be good. All right, so I think we should call it a day here. We've really done well today. I think we've used our time well. So, I think we can focus on. I know we're supposed to have a class tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I think the best thing we'll do is we'll use tomorrow's class for what do you call it? For chemistry, or what do you think?
Um, Depending on how much revision I do on that day for maths, then yeah.
Oh,
I'll,
okay, fine. Fine, fine.
thank you.
That's all right then. Good night, guys.
Okay.